Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. I am super excited for today's video. It's going to be something a little bit different, something I've never tried before on my channel, and I was inspired to do this video from Annette from Annette's Makeup Corner. She has been doing a makeup diaries on her channel, and I've always been really intrigued about the series, and I thought it might be fun just to try it for myself. Now I don't have like a bunch of like fun events that I'm going to. I'm not traveling, and some days you'll see the makeup that I wear to work, some days I'm just filming, but I'm really excited. We're gonna go through 7 days of different makeup looks, and I'll share with you the products that are on my face and how I achieved each look for a full week's worth of makeup wear. I will say I recently rearranged, and I think 4 or 5 of the days I'm like still in front of the window, and lighting is not ideal. It might still not be ideal where I'm at right now, or the lighting right now, but hopefully it's better than in front of the window, so bear with me through that. But this is actually the 7th day, and I just needed to film an introduction, but that is what today's video is going to be. So if you're interested in seeing my week's makeup looks, stay tuned. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel and you like project planning content, palette themed content, or just chit chatting about makeup, I'd love if you'd consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's jump into the video. Good morning, you guys. I'm going to be sharing my first look with you guys in this makeup diaries. Today I don't have to work, and I'm actually meeting some friends to go watch March Madness, which I'm super excited about. It is quite early in the morning, so it'll be a little bit till we actually make it to a sports bar, but I am a little bit nervous. I do have the Space Chemistry palette on today from Terra Moons, and I wore this yesterday, and I wasn't super impressed with the longevity of the like metallic shades. So I hope that this lasts. We'll see. I did lay down a glitter glue, which I couldn't remember if I did yesterday. And I also put this on later in the day yesterday, and then was like tired and I think maybe rubbing my eyes. I can't remember. So we'll see what happens with this. I did also pair this with the Natasha Denona Biba palette to create the look that I have on my eyes today. If I think of it, I'll post a little like boomerang over here. I will say I haven't been I'm not super impressed with the mattes in the Terra Moons palette. Extremely powdery. We're thinking like Subculture Gate ABH level powdery. I think that the shadows, like the shimmer shadows, are absolutely stunning. They are so sparkly and so beautiful. The shade Moonwater is kind of like a silvery blue, which is right up my alley. But yeah, we'll see how the longevity goes today. I just realized I didn't do an inner corner shade, so I might do that really quick. I'm gonna go on with Monroe for my inner corner. It is the last shade in the Biba palette I need to use before this is complete for No Pan Left Behind. Oh, that is a pretty inner corner highlight. Okay, all right, that is what we did for the eyes today. These are the eyes. For my base, I have really been falling back in love with the Milani Chill Out Soothing Primer with wild oat extracts. So nice, so smoothing, and also just so calming on the skin. So I went in with this. And then my foundation pairing, you guys, I have been truly obsessed with this combination, and it's crazy because I'm eating my words with this Laura Mercier foundation. And in fact, I had put this away, told you guys I was going to declutter it, and then I couldn't remember if I said I was going to declutter it or not, and I feel like I was seeing it go viral, so I was like, I'm going to give it another chance. I pulled it back out, still didn't like it, but I hadn't like moved it from like my little bookshelf with my makeup over to like my bin of products that I plan to declutter. And then one day, I don't know what made me feel like I should reach for this, but I reached for these 3 products in combination with one another, and I literally cannot stop reaching for this combination. Plus I had a patient the other day compliment my skin. She was like, I've never seen someone's makeup look more flawless like my foundation. And you know, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I would say I have never felt my skin look more blurred and just like, and I don't know if it'll be translating on camera. I feel like I'm saying that now and you guys are gonna be like, girl, looks like your pores are the size of the moon craters. Anyway, this combination. So I have the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I mix a little dab of this with a little bit of the Tula Skincare Radiant Skin like tinted SPF, because this is going in my whole collection project pan, so I was just trying to get a little use out of that. And then I mix it with 2 pumps of the Laura Mercier Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Foundation, which by the way, a pump of this is like a half pump. Mix all of them together, and this is the combination I have gotten, and I am absolutely in love. Will definitely most likely purchase another shade of this when I finish this. I am gonna have to try like maybe these two on its own. Like, is this really adding so much to it that it's truly this combination? I don't know, but this is my base combination today. Another product that is currently going in a project is my Becca Après-Ski face palette. So for my highlight and bronzer, I have shades out of here. I have this bronzer as my bronzer today, which, you know, I do actually kind of like. If Becca still was a brand and sold this bronzer, I would potentially consider purchasing another one. I definitely owned at least one in the past, if not 2, and panned both of them. And then my highlight today is Opal, which typically is not like my favorite highlight shade. I definitely usually lean towards something more pink, but I do think it's pretty and it works for today. So that is bronzer and highlight. For my blush, I reached for something out of my Lunar Beauty Moon Prism blush palette. And today I have Space Gaze mixed with Soleil. Is it Soleil or Soleil? Anyway, I have these two mixed together. I am definitely someone who likes a little bit more of a glow on her cheeks. I don't like a totally matte blush. I like a matte bronzer, but I do not typically tend to like a matte blush on me. I just like to have a little bit of a glow, so that's why I mix this with Soleil. I will say I feel like I'm entering back into like my nude blush era, as well as my like orangey coral blush era. I feel like the last couple of years it's really been like a red sunburnt sort of a blush look, especially in the summer, but I have been so in love with like a peachy or an orangey sort of blush, so I'm really excited to explore those blushes this year. I just feel like it's a little bit more flattering on my cheeks, but this is what I did for blush today. The lip combination is my ColourPop Golden Beach lip liner in collaboration with Barbie, and then I did Milani teas on top. I am definitely feeling like I want a bit of a gloss. Like the lips are looking, they're not even matte, because this is definitely more of like a satin sort of lip shade, but they're not looking as glossy as I like them. Anyway, I do really like the Milani Tease lipstick because I am someone who likes more of like a brown leaning nude for my lips. I did also forget to mention in my waterline today, I have Urban Decay's Mildew. I thought it would be fun to do like a pop of grungy green. And for my eyeshadow primer, I did use the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter eyeshadow primer. This is definitely not a favorite. I'm just trying to finish this up, and then I will move on to, I will likely repurchase the NARS Smudge Proof eyeshadow primer. I feel like that one just works really well for me. I did also lay down the NYX Glitter Primer to hopefully have the metallic shades adhere a little bit better to my lids, so I have those two on there. I also forgot to mention for concealer today, I have my Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer on. I know this is not everyone's cup of tea. I feel like this might be my favorite concealer though, and I'm definitely thinking about picking up a full size of this concealer in the Sephora VIB sale. However, I do have some other concealers that I like, such as the Tower 28, Natasha Denona, and LYS, and I would like to potentially like work my way through 1 or 2 more concealers before purchasing this. So maybe I put off purchasing this until the next sale, but I just really love the way that this makes my under eyes look. So I'm struggling with that decision a little bit. I did also set underneath my eyes today with the Givenchy Prism Libre powder. I have mine in the shade 3 Violet Rosé. I did not set the rest of my face with the powder. And then for my setting spray, you guys, tell me why I've always wanted to try the Evian facial spray, and I saw it in either a TJ Maxx or a Marshall's, and this size was on sale for $6. Then I was reading the ingredients, and this is literally just canned water, but I did purchase it for $6 because we know how much I like to mist my face, and I was like, $6 for like this really large can is really nice, and I don't necessarily care that it's really just water, because I feel like water still will help to like melt my powders. And if I'm just doing my makeup and want like a little bit of a mist, a little bit of a refresher, I feel like this is perfect. So I did use this kind of as I was doing my makeup today, and then to set everything I used my Revolution Beauty Sport Fix setting spray, because I feel like this does really help to extend the wear of my makeup. So that is what I use for setting spray. And I think those are all. Oh, for brows. For brows, I just run a little bit of the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter through my brows, and then I use this cream shade right here in the shade Sculpted from the Danessa Myricks Groundworks palette in my brows, and that is probably what you will see every single day for my brow routine. And then for mascara, where is my mascara? Oh, my mascara combination today is the Tower 28 Make Waves mascara, which is pretty much dried out. Like, it's so dry, it was like basically tugging my lashes along with it. So I really need to, I'm like, this one's empty. And then I topped it with the 5D Lash Pow Volumizing Mascara from Makeup Revolution. And then I curled my lashes a little bit using my heated eyelash curler, which I love so much. If you guys are interested, I'll leave this link down below. I got it from Amazon, I think for like less than $20. And for me, I feel like my lashes just like, no matter what formula I'm using, they just like stick straight out. They never curl up. So this has been a game changer, especially because I don't personally like to use fake lashes. So curled my eyelashes with my eyelash curler, and that is how I got this look today. I will say, for the most part, I am actually like really into this look. I will just be curious to see how long my eyeshadow lasts, and I always just feel like this eye in particular, I just something happens. I don't know if my mascara smudges, I don't know if I just get really watery in this outer corner, but I always end up with like smudgy something in this corner, which I really hate, but that's, you know, a problem for another day. I also just like, you know, the lips, a gloss would have done, but we're trying to get use out of all of my products. And my nose is really runny, so I'm sure by the end of the day, my nose will have worn away and I'll look like Rudolph. But that is it for today's look, you guys. On to the next. Hello, you guys. Welcome to day 2 in my makeup diary. Today I'm going to visit my mom, and we are going to go out to eat at one of my favorite Mongolian grills near where she lives. I literally cannot wait. My mouth is watering. And normally when I go visit my mom, I literally don't wear any makeup. So we've got a lot going on. She's in for a treat when she sees me today, but let's chat about what is on my face. So we can start with the eyes. Today, to create this eye look, I used the Odin's Eye Angie Little Ghost palette, and I also did a little bit of my Natasha Denona Biba palette just because I had a couple of shades left to use in order to finish No Pan Left Behinding. So I had these 3 shades down here I needed to use, so I incorporated them into this look, and I really like the way that this turned out. It is a very bold purple look, but as I was creating it, I felt like I was getting kind of frustrated, and I'm happy with the way that the final look turned out. I always love what happens when I use the Little Ghost palette. So this is what is on the eyes. For mascara, I opened a new mascara today. I'm just trying to get through like the oldest mascaras in my collection. So I opened the Tarte Lights Camera Splashes. This is a waterproof mascara, and I feel like I'm currently on the hunt for a good waterproof mascara for the spring summertime. So if you guys have any recommendations, let me know. I know in the past I used to love the Milk Makeup waterproof mascara, so I'm thinking about possibly purchasing that one again. And then I layered it with the 5D Lash Pow from Makeup Revolution, and of course I curled my lashes with my eyelash curler. For eyeliner today, I used this one from Urban Decay. It's in the shade Space Dust. I really like this eyeliner because it's kind of like this dirty gold sort of shade, and I feel like it pairs so beautifully with both warm and cool tone looks. And this is something I would like to see if I can finish this year. Urban Decay liners do take, I mean, eyeliner in general takes forever to get through, but I'd love to finish that, so I'm still chugging away at that. And then brows are the exact same thing as yesterday. I reached for the shade Sculpted out of my Danessa Myricks Groundworks palette, and then I just usually run a little bit of the of the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter, and sometimes I'll add just a little bit of like a tinted brow gel. So I'm trying to go through my Benefit one. So that is the brows today. All right, for my base, I'm not loving my base today, but That's okay. I'm trying to use up this Fenty Beauty Eavesdrop, this little sample size of the Fenty Eavesdrop. So I mixed this today with the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I'm also trying to finish this before the end of the year. And then for concealer, I use the Natasha Denona concealer. I really like this concealer, but I have the shade RN1 and it's way too light for me. So I just used this on its own today, and I don't typically like it on its own, but I do have some concealers that are too dark, so I'll keep this around for mixing. I'd definitely be interested in purchasing this in a shade that matches me better, but I think out of this and the Charlotte Tilbury one, I prefer Charlotte Tilbury, so maybe I just wouldn't purchase this again and only purchase the Charlotte Tilbury. Nevertheless, this is my concealer today. I did forget to mention for primer today, I used the Milani Chill Out Soothing Primer. Really love this. And then for my bronzer, I reached back into my Becca Après Ski palette. This is going in my whole collection project pan, and I'm trying to get 10 uses out of the palette. So I reached for this as my bronzer, which I do really like the bronzer. Oh, I feel like I need a little bit more bronze on this side. And then I also reached for the shade Icicle for my highlight, and this ended up looking like a bruise on my face. It is like a blue, like an icy blue highlight, but I told myself that I would reach for, like, part of rolling this out of my project pan is that I reach for this 10 times, and I have to reach for each of the pans in this palette at least 1 time. So I needed to use Icicle, and I do not like this as a highlight, so I ended up trying to mix it with Opal to make it work a little bit better. I still think it looks a bit like a blue bruise on my face. So in the future, I would just use that as an inner corner highlight personally. So that is the bronzer and highlight. For my blush, I reached back, whoa, almost dropped it. I reached back into my Lunar Beauty Moon Prism blush palette. I'm unofficially trying to just use every shade in this palette, and I'm just reminded at how great this palette is and how much I really enjoy this face palette. I feel like this is like the perfect mix of like a peachy coral blush palette with, like, this just has pure perfection and everything that I'm looking for in a blush these days. We have a light baby pink, we have this peachy shade, we have like a shimmery peachy shade, we have basically like a nude pink shade, and then we have the shade Spacey, which is on my cheeks today, which is more of like a mauve-y sort of blush shade. And then I'm really excited to reach into Gravity. I think Gravity is the last pan I have to reach for in this before I've used every single shade. This is something I anticipate I will be reaching for so much this year. I've really been loving my face palettes the last couple of years, and this just reminded me of how much I enjoy this one. I can't remember if I've reached for Pink Moon, so I'll have to reach for that one again. But I anticipate I will be reaching for this one a lot this year. And then I think all that's left to share is my lip combination. I'm like, this just feels so quick. But my lip combination today, I again have my lips lined with the ColourPop Golden Beach lip liner. This was in collaboration with Barbie. And then I have that topped with the Becca Glow Gloss in collaboration with Chrissy Teigen. And this is in the shade Beach Bum. I do really enjoy this lip combination. We know I love a glossy lip. This is in a project. Actually, both of those lip products are in a project, and I just like the way this looks. So I anticipate I will continue to reach for this lip combo. I feel like it makes a really fun one for the summertime with like a bronzy look as well. And then just, oh, I did use a powder today. I just powdered my face with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Powder Foundation. Also trying to use this up. And then for my face mists today, I have a mixture of the Evian facial spray and the Revolution Sport Fix, which I can't remember if I used. We know I like to mist. Don't judge me for how many times I mist. I can't remember if I already put this on my face or if I set it out to remind myself. So we're double locked in with the face mist. But that is it for today's look. Let's jump on to day 3. Okay, you guys, I'm playing with my lighting today, so I feel like I look really like almost greeny yellow. We'll see if that, I'm gonna pop this right in before I film anything else to see if that is actually the case. But if I look like yellow green, I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out my lighting, I promise. But we are back for day 3 in Makeup Diaries, and today I was supposed to go to a Taylor Swift drag brunch with my girlfriends, but as always happens in Minnesota, the weather gets in the way and Snowmageddon is supposed to be upon us. So it got canceled and I will just be chilling indoors. But I thought in honor of what would have been going to Taylor Swift, I would do a red lip. So let's get into what is on the eyes today. For my eyes, I used, again, the Terra Moon Space Chemistry palette. I am currently trying to work my way through this eyeshadow palette. And I have the matte browns on today with this shade all over the crease. I did use one shade out of my Rowan 75 Degrees quad in the very outer corner, but that is what we have going on today. I really like the Terra Moon's shadows. I just think the longevity isn't necessarily there, and it could be because it's a really sparkly shadow. I do always lay down a glitter glue. I haven't used my brush wet, so maybe that would make a difference. But my one complaint with this palette is that I just don't feel like it has the longest wearing shadows. And I also am not a huge fan of the matte shadows. But this is what's on the eyes today. For brows, I've kept it the same that I have every day. I just use my Benefit 24-hour brow setter with my Danessa Myricks Groundwork palette. Not a huge fan of the foundation today. I have a mixture of these two. So I have the Fenty Eavesdrop, this little sample, which I'm trying to finish up, mixed with the NARS Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer. Definitely not a favorite combination, but needed to get use out of it. And then for my concealer, I have on my, my Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. Again, absolutely love this concealer. For primer today, I used the Tula Filter Primer. I have mine in the shade Sunrise. This is almost a little bit too deep for me now. I need to self-tan today. I feel like I literally look green. Okay, we'll see what happens when I edit, but I'm so sorry if this clip is messed up. Anyway, I used the Tula Filter Primer, blurring and moisturizing. A little bit too deep for me. I need to self-tan today. And then I also forgot to mention in my waterline, I do have the Ilia Dusk Clean Liner Gel Liner. For mascara, I have the same combination as yesterday. I have the Tarte Lights Camera Splashes mixed with the Makeup Revolution 5D Lash Pow. I wouldn't say like this is my favorite mascara combination of all time, but it definitely works. And then of course I did curl my lashes. I feel like I'm just bopping around in no particular order. For my eyeshadow primer today, I did the Fenty Beauty Eye Primer, laid that down with just a matte powder shadow, went on with the Space Chemistry, and then I did use the NYX Glitter Primer on the lid to hopefully adhere that sparkly shade a little bit better. For bronzer today, I went in with my Vive Bronzing Duo, and I just used the bronzer duo side, not the contour. I didn't even mix. So that is what I have for a bronzer today, but I did add a little bit of this shade from the Becca Après-Ski palette, Blushed Copper, just to add like a little bit of a glow to the bronze. I don't know that it added much at all. And then I did use Becca Rose Quartz out of this palette for my highlight today. And for my blush, I recently recluttered this into my collection. This was at my mom's house, and I feel like this is like right up my alley for what I'm looking for in a blush these days. It's from Cover FX. It's their monochromatic blush duo in the shade Soft Peach. And then on the lips, I have the Persona matte liquid lipstick in the shade Holy Grail, and I believe that is it. Oh, I did underpaint today using the Charlotte Tilbury contour wand, and I actually contoured my nose. But I laid that down before I went on with any sort of foundation tinted moisturizer. But that is the look today. Let's go see how green/yellow I really look, and hopefully I'll fix it for day 4. All right, you guys, we have day 4 in my makeup diaries. I have been fiddling with my camera settings probably too much. And now I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna figure my camera settings out. So we'll see how this clip is looking. I did edit my previous clip and it was... So I really apologize about the lighting. If you'll be patient with me, I would appreciate it. Anyway, today I am going to work. I actually was gonna film yesterday, but I ended up being so sick, probably the sickest that I've been in like a decade. And as I was literally puking into the toilet yesterday, I remember thinking to myself, I still need to like film. I have a palette week video left to film, and I was like, I need to like get up and go film. But then I just went to my bed and slept for literally the entire day. So I am going to work today. There is a massive snowstorm happening outside. I'm quite nervous to actually drive to work, but this is something that I feel appropriate to wear to the office for me, just to give you guys kind of a general idea of like what I wear to the office every day. So we can jump into it. My brows are the same as they have been. Danessa Myricks Groundworks palette mixed with my Benefit 24-hour brow setter. For my eyes, I actually do have quite a bit going on the eyes today. So I was using my Norns palette the other day for my nail polish. I have a mixture of these two shades on my nails today. Ignore that I feel like this is like, there's like dyed green on this finger. And clearly, I've been washing my hands a lot and the self-tan is looking interesting. Anyway, I had this palette pulled out and I was like, you know what? I want to do something with this green shade up here. This is shade Green Chameleon. And I don't necessarily, like, I don't love the mattes in this palette. So I was like, well, what am I going to do? And so I pulled out my Nobla Cutie Nude palette because this is a 6pan palette. It's, you know, a nude palette. I feel like I felt like I could create a good base with this, and then I can kind of get working on potentially no pan left behinding this palette so I can decide whether or not I want to keep it. I likely will want to keep this palette. I really enjoyed using this. So these are the two palettes that are on my actual eyelids. In the inner corner today, I have two single shadows, both from Cleota. So I have one of the shades out of the Cleota Dragon Fruit palette, and then is it going to be easy for me to like flip this around and see what shade this is? And then I have this shade right here, which is in the shade Illumination, and it is a series 1 iridescent multi-chrome. I have those two mixed on my inner corner. And then I did just use a mixture of like these two shades right here to kind of blend out, like blend everything out. So that is everything going on the eyes. I have used the same mascara combo that I've been using. It's the Tarte Lights Camera Splashes mixed with the Makeup Forever 5D Lash Pow. I actually am enjoying this one more the more that I use the Tarte Lights Camera Splashes. I don't necessarily know that it's something that I'll actually go like repurchase when I finish, but I've been enjoying this combination. And of course, I curled my lashes using my heated lash curler. For my base today, I'm not exactly sure where my concealer is, so that's a little bit alarming, but I do have the Charlotte Tilbury I Am Magic Radiant Concealer on. And then for my foundation, I have a mixture of quite a few things. So I have a mixture of the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter with the Dior Forever Natural Nude. I will say I am not the biggest fan of the natural nude yet. On its own, I find this to be too matte and too drying, but it also doesn't provide like the most amount of coverage, and I just haven't been a big fan of this. So I decided today to mix it with the Charlotte Tilbury just to add a little bit of glow. And I'm currently trying to get my way through the Fenty Eavesdrop, this little sample size. So I added just like the smallest little dollop of this. And that is my base today. And I will say I definitely like the mixture of these two together. Like, I was thinking that this might be something I would for sure declutter, but mixing these two together today, so far I've enjoyed it. We'll see how long it lasts on the skin, but I'm not so quick to feel like I'll declutter this on its own again though. It's just not a favorite for me. And then I did go ahead and powder my whole face just to set it, because again, I will be going to work. I want my makeup to last. I used the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Powder Foundation because I am currently trying to work my way through this one. I do have a pan, which is so exciting. For bronzer today, I used my Vive Bronzing Duo, and I just used the bronzer side. I can't remember if it was in Makeup Diaries or another video that I told you guys I'm potentially considering like decluttering this bronzer duo. I just don't know that I love it like I used to. Although I will say, using it today, I did go ahead and clean my brushes. That could be part of it. I definitely like it more than I have the last few times that I've used it. So I'm going to keep using this. I'm going to try and be consistent about it so that I can decide whether or not I truly do want to keep this in my collection. I'm currently on the fence though. And the reason being is I prefer my Victoria Beckham Bronzing Duo just a little bit. I feel like this just pulls a little bit too warm on my skin. Sometimes I'll mix these two, but I just don't know if I love it like I used to. That's just how I'm feeling. And then on the cheeks today, I don't have a highlighter on, but I used Pink Moon from the Lunar Beauty Moon Prism palette on my cheeks, and then I topped it like where I normally would, kind of close to where I normally would do my highlighter. I topped with Soleil. I don't know how to say this, but I really, really enjoy this shade. And that is what's on the cheeks today. I have now officially used, oh no, I still need to use Spacey, which or did I use Spacey? Maybe it's Gravity I need to use. Anyway, I've really, really been enjoying pulling this face palette back out. Would love to know, should I pick up the Mushroom Moon palette that Manny just launched? It looks so pretty. I don't know why I've been talking myself out of it, but then as I was getting ready this morning, actually I was watching his reveal video, and I also want one of the glosses from the collection. Would love to know though, like, should I get it, or talk me out of it down below? But this is what I have on my cheeks today. I forgot to mention I did also contour my nose. I underpainted and contoured my nose using my Charlotte Tilbury contour wand. I am trying to work on this in my Rolling Project 10 pan. And I just don't love it, but you know, we've been trying to contour the nose lately. And then my lip combination today is, again, I've been wearing my ColourPop Barbie lip liner quite a bit. Granted, it is going in a project, and I'm not someone who naturally reaches for a lip liner, but I'm proud of myself for how much I've been able to reach for my lip liner. So I have the ColourPop Barbie Golden Beach lip liner on, and over top of that I have the Iconic London Lip Plumping Gloss. And I will say I'm not a fan of the doe foot on this. It's like the weakest thing ever. It just kind of like drags. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I really don't like that. But I do like this lip combination. I think it's really pretty. I like this shade of lip gloss. And it's kind of one of those lip plumpers that has like that tingly minty sensation, but it's not painful at all. It just almost is like cooling on the lips. I like the shade. I just really am not a fan of the applicator. But that is everything that is currently on my face to complete this look. My setting spray is again the Revolution Beauty Sport Fix Lasting Hold Fixing Spray. That is everything, you guys. Now on to day 5. Hello, you guys. Welcome back to day 5. Are we on day 5 or are we on day 6? I honestly cannot remember. But I should figure that out. But whatever day we're on, this is the look that I have on today. I don't work today. I do have one errand that I want to run, and I'm feeling maybe like a little self-conscious. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. It is fine. But then I'm going to be filming today. So I did this look today, and my main inspiration was whipping out my Lethal Cosmetics Wildflower palette. This has been going in my project, my No Pan Left Behind project, since the beginning of the year, and I really want to be able to roll this palette out. So I was like, I'm gonna bust this out and use it today. I know I have new palettes to be testing and trying as well, but would really like to roll this out so I can roll something else into that project here that I don't know will be posting before or after this video. But this is what I have on the eyes today. And then the only other thing I have on the eyes is on the inner corner. I actually have another Lethal palette on, and I have the shade Starlit from, or is it Starlight would have Starlit from the Lethal Cosmetics Midnight Serenade palette on the inner corner, and it adds just a really nice ethereal pop of blue. We are a bit dramatic, but I do like the way that the eye look turned out today. I just realized I don't think in any of my videos have I shared like the actual shades that I've been using to create the looks. That's a total fail that I can try and be better at in the future. But for today's look, I have this shade right here on the outer like corner to create like kind of this wingish type of whatever. And I used this to blend, and then I also used this shade right here just to like really buff out like up above near the brows. And then I actually have this shade right here all over the lid. I know this shade looks really green in the pan, but it really does translate more blue on the eyes. And then I swear I had one more shade. Oh, I used this shade right here on the lower lash line, and I did use this shade right here just a touch on the very like outer third of my eye to kind of like blend these two together and like really tie the look together. So that is how I created the eye look. I did also use the Urban Decay Glide On Pencil in the shade Goddess in my waterline. It's this really deep navy blue with a bit of a sheeny sparkle to it. Eyebrows are the same. I just went in with the shade Sculpted from my Danessa Myricks Groundworks palette. For my base today, I tried a mixture of the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Elevated Glow with the Dior Forever Natural Nude. I can tell my skin is so freaking dry right now. Like, it is so dry and flaky and just dull. And I'm like trying to do things to like get it out of that. So I'm still like not in love with the natural nude, but a part of it could just be because my skin is literally so dry. Would love to like heal it back to health. I promise I am drinking less caffeine and actually drinking more water. So like, I don't know what's going on. I keep misting with my Evian spray water, but we're dry. So we'll see how I feel as this wears throughout the day. I don't love the shade for me right now. Like that, I don't know. I'm not like absolutely in love with the base For my concealer, I did a mixture of the LYS Triple Fix with the Natasha Denona. Okay, why did it take me until today to realize like just how dark the LYS Triple Fix is on my skin? It's way too dark for me. And the Natasha Denona is way too light. I don't like these two mixed together though. I feel like I'm just like entering an era where when I find something that like truly works for me, such as the Charlotte Tilbury, I just kind of just want to use that. So I actually might end up decluttering both of these just because they're not the right shade. I actually like the formula of both of these, but even like if these were the correct shades, I feel like I like the Charlotte Tilbury just a little bit more. So I think I'm going to purchase Charlotte Tilbury during the Sephora sale and see if I'm like okay with just using the same concealer every single day. I know my concealer collection is like really whittling down there, but concealer is one of those things I don't get super excited to try new concealers. And I just feel like I'm very picky, as you should be, with my under eye area. So these you might see these in an upcoming declutter just because they are not the right shade. I still think both are a great formula. Personally for me, Charlotte Tilbury is where it's at though. I did use, as I have been, the Fenty Beauty powder to set my face. It's just the Pro Filter Soft Matte powder. I feel like my pan maybe has expanded this week as I've used this powder. But this is the powder on my face. For bronzer and highlight today, again, I'm trying to get use out of my Becca Après-Ski Glow palette. So I have the bronzer right here for my bronzer. I also have Rose Glow as my highlight today. And then for my blush, trying to get use out of all of the shades in the face palettes that I roll into my Shop My Stash before rolling them out. So I have this as my blush today. I haven't yet used the highlights while this has been in rotation, but I just have this blush left to use before I've used all the blushes. So this is the blush I have on today, and I just topped it with a little bit of the MAC Warm Soul blush just to kind of neutralize it a little bit, give this offers like a little bit of a glow, a little bit of a sheen. So that is the cheeks. I did also contour my nose, and actually underpainted both my nose contour as well as like I contoured like right here before going in with my foundation today, just to try and get use out of this. That's really the only reason. Lashes, again, we're doing the same combo. We have Tarte Lights Camera Splashes mixed with Makeup Revolution 5D Lash Pow, and then my trusty dusty lash curler. And then finally for the lips, I was gonna do the same lip combo that I did yesterday, but I was like, we gotta switch some of the makeup up to keep it fun. And now that I have been consistently using my lip liner, seeing Samantha March post her lip combo video, I was so inspired to just try and, you know, not go buy more lip liner necessarily, but like actually see if there's lip combos in my collection that I like and use a lip liner for that. So I grabbed the Huda Beauty Lip Contour 2.0 in the shade Muted Pink. And when I put it on, I was like, okay, this might be too pink for me, but it's a bit more of like a, not super deep, but like a mid-toned dusty, oh, I feel like I need to like floss, a mid-toned dusty shade. And so I topped that with a new gloss that I picked up during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. I picked up Buxom Blushing Margarita, and I actually really like this lip combo. I think it's really pretty. I think this would also be something really beautiful for like a fall lip or even like a winter lip. It's giving more cold girl vibes, or even just like a neutral eye look paired with this lip. I'm digging the lip combo. I really am. So I'm excited to keep playing around with lip combos. Been really enjoying the Buxom Full On Lip Plumping creams. I really like the Buxom formula. I still love Lawless Forget the Filler, but Buxom also has some fun shades too, and I hadn't tried their cream formula yet. So this is my first time trying the Blushing Margarita. I've tried the Gin Fizz twice, and I've been enjoying the formula thus far. Obviously, I've only tried 3 times. I will also say my lips are so disgustingly dry right now. Like, aside from my face being disgustingly dry, I really need to, like, I'm feeling a little alarmed about my teeth. Anyway, my lips are literally peeling. They're so dry. And I was like continuing to put on my, my Sigma lip mask all night last night. Like, I put it on right when I got home from work. I put it on while I was taking my bath. I put it on while my daughter was reading to me. I put it on right before bed, and like, we're so dry. What the heck? So I'm gonna just be trying to get hydrated today. I'm gonna go run my quick errand, and then I will be back to do some filming. I plan to film what am I planning to film today? My makeup rehab update, I think I would like to get to for April, and some of these videos might be up before you're even seeing this video. I would like to get that video up, and then I also want to film my Sephora shop with me. I have a huge Sephora cart, but I am really trying, like I have a very strict budget. I've been like selling some things around my house, and I told myself I could only spend at the Sephora VIB sale what I've earned in like books that I've sold and other things that I've sold. So I'm trying to be very, very like to my budget. And my cart is filled with quite a few like fragrances. It's like fragrances and lip products mostly. So if that video is up, I'll leave it linked down below. Otherwise, keep your eye out for it because I love getting your guys' feedback on the things that I should actually purchase, things that you think I would like or things that you would like to see me review. So keep an eye out for that video. But we're gonna be on to either day 6 or day 7. So check it out. Hello, you guys. I have moved spaces in my apartment again. I couldn't deal with the light, the actual daylight behind me any longer. It was causing too many issues with my camera lighting, with my camera settings and things like that, and it was causing way too much unnecessary stress and anxiety. So we've moved back. If some of my videos are like out of order, I do have a couple that like are filmed that still have the background, and honestly they don't look good. Like the camera settings don't look good. But just know we're moving back home here, and I don't think we'll move again. Okay, today I believe is day 6 for my makeup diaries. This is the look that we have today. I feel like I'm very, very happy with the way that today's makeup turned out. I do have some filming planned for today, and then my daughter and I are gonna go to Barnes & Noble and pick out a couple new books for her to read. So that's the plan. I won't be purchasing any books because I'm currently on a book buying ban. Plus, I'm in such a reading slump, it would make no sense for me to buy a book. Anyway, let's chat through what is on the face. I do have my Lethal Cosmetics Wildflower palette on again today, and I kind of have an interesting combination of shades happening here. So I have this shade right here buffed into my crease, and then I have this shade all over the lid, and then to get use out of all the shades that I still needed to, I have a little bit of this hot pink shade on the lower lash line, like out here, mixed with a little bit of this on the lower lash line, and then I have this on the inner corner to create the look that you are seeing today. I also did do just a very slight little like flick of a wing on the upper lash line, and I used the shade Bark out of my Danessa Myricks out of my Danessa Myricks Groundworks palette. This is the palette I have in my brows today. Are we surprised? And then also on the lower lash line, I do have this LA Girl Shockwave Neon Eyeliner, this yellow one in my waterline. I just wanted something like a little bit different. So that is the eye look. For my base today, I wanted to get use out of a foundation I had pulled for my Shop My Stash. So I have a mixture of the Dior Forever Skin Glow and my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. Can you tell I'm trying to get through my Hollywood Flawless Filter? So I have these two on. I have that set with my Fenty Beauty powder, and for concealer today, I busted out my Tower 28 Serum Concealer because it's been a little bit since I've reached for this, and I actually really enjoyed that one. For my bronzer today, I also busted out one that I have in my Shop My Stash. It is my NARS Sun Washed Bronzer in the shade Laguna. I always forget how much I like the Sun Washed Bronzer. I especially think that this one looks great with a tinted moisturizer, just because it is more of that like washed effect, and it's not like the most pigmented bronzer. It's definitely more buildable, which works better for me on most occasions just because I can be known to go pretty heavy-handed. For my blush today, I wanted to use, I believe I had one more shade I needed to use in my Lunar Beauty Moon Prism palette to have used every single shade. I have been enjoying using this so much, and I feel like I want to keep this like rolled in my Shop My Stash potentially one more month. We'll see. But I do have the shade Gravity mixed with MAC's Warm Soul, just because I wanted to I didn't want it to be quite as deep. I will say, as I look at my MAC Warm Soul, I feel like it is obviously a baked product, but I feel like we're starting to like flatten out the dome, which just makes me so happy and excited to see such good wear on a blush, because it takes so much effort to like see wear on a blush. So that's my blush combo today. And then for my highlight, I went in with this shade right here, the pink highlight from the NARS Overlust palette, and that is more of like a cream sort of highlight, and then I topped it with a little bit of my Dior Nude Air in the shade 2, just because I also needed to get use out of this, and I was feeling like this was slightly too deep for the look, so this kind of lightened it up. It is a very, very glowy highlight, and I also put some of this highlight on my nose and then topped it, so like it's glowy. But I do love a glow, so I'm not super mad at it. I do just currently have on my Lawless lip treatment right now in Cherry Vanilla. This is the Forget the Filler Overnight Lip Plumping Mask. My lips have been so incredibly dry, so I just have this treatment on right now. Perhaps later I'll put on a combination of something to film, but that is the look that we have going on today. This might be, I'm like trying to remember all the looks that I've done so far. I feel like in terms of like my base, I'm really loving the glow. Maybe when I edit I won't feel the same way, but like sometimes it's fun to just be a little bit glowier, so I'm loving the glow. But that is it for day 6. Let's move on to the finale for this video, Makeup Diaries day 7. Let's go. Hello you guys, we're back for my 7th look. I am just filming today, so this look is strictly just to film. And thank goodness, because I do not feel good about the state of my skin. But let's get into it. So on the eyes, I primed with my Fenty Beauty eyeshadow primer, which is the eyeshadow primer I've been using. This is not a favorite. When I'm done with this, I'd like to, I have an alter ego one that I want to try, and then I probably will end up going back to the NARS Smudge Proof, because that's what's worked best for me personally. On my eyes, I have the Mighty Monster palette in collaboration, Odin's Eye in collaboration with Annette from Annette's Makeup Corner, who actually I drew inspiration for this series from. So how fitting is that? And I'm just currently in the process of testing this. I was trying to use as many shades in this eye look as I could. So I have these 3 shades right here on my upper, like on my lid. And then I have the purple shade right here on my lower lash line. And I have Glow Vortex, this really beautiful duochrome kind of pink. It's almost like a trio chrome. Like I swear it has pink, gold, and green in it. That's in my inner corner, as well as like the first like inner part, the inner third of my eye. And then I put serpent scales back over that inner third too. And I love the way that those two layer together. Definitely something a little bit different for me, but I really enjoyed creating this look, and I'm excited to continue to test this palette. Brows are the same that they have been, Danessa Myricks. On my upper lash line, I do have, I waterlined. What? I tight lined using my Kaja Wing Stamp. So I do have liner on my upper lash line, and then on my lower lash line, in my waterline, I have the LA Girl Shockwave Neon Eyeliner in the shade Electric. I used the Supergoop Unseen sunscreen. I'm trying to like get through this, and like the sun has set outside, like I'm filming at night. But I used the Unseen sunscreen in hopes that it would blur the pores. My skin is so dry. I was sick earlier this week, and I swear I'm drinking water, but I don't know if I'm just still so dehydrated from that. I'm still not feeling like 100. So I don't know if that's it. I mean, my skin's always pretty dry, but it seems like exceptionally dry. But I have this as my primer, and then for foundation, I did a mix of the Hollywood Flawless Filter, trying to get use out of this, mixed with the Tarte Shape Tape Cloud Coverage. I will say this isn't like my standout go-to foundation. Once I finish this, I don't think I'll repurchase. I think it's pretty, but oh wait, now that I'm looking at my skin, I'm like, okay, maybe I don't hate it like I was. Maybe it just needed like a little bit of time to like set in. I just feel like on my chin it's looking a little dry. Anyway, I don't think I'll repurchase this when I finish it, but now that I say that and I just looked at my skin, I'm like, oh, maybe I like it. Anyway, I'm on the fence. This is my base. For my concealer today, I have the NYX Born to Glow Radiant Concealer. I really enjoy this concealer, but I will say I'm just on a Charlotte Tilbury kick, and right now I feel like nothing beats my Charlotte Tilbury like magic concealer. So I feel like I'm just like not loving everything else because I just want to have the Charlotte Tilbury on my eyes. So was trying to get use out of things that I'd pulled from my Shop My Stash, but would have rather reached for the Charlotte Tilbury. I did set my face, as I have been, with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Foundation. I also feel like this might just be like a little bit heavy since it's also a powder foundation. But I feel like my pan has expanded this week. I would like to finish this product just because it's one of my older foundations and pressed powders in my collection. So I am trying to finish this one this year. For bronzer, I did a mixture of the NARS Laguna Sun Wash Bronzer with my Nabla Skin Bronzing in the shade Ambra. I feel like I am so freaking close to hitting pan on the shade Ambra. I don't know if you'll be able to see like how low this is right here. I thought I had hit pan today and I got so excited, but I didn't. So anyway, this is the bronzer that I have on. And then for blush, I did a mixture of this like Kosas Duo. This is in the shade Papaya. I did this mixed with my Buxom blush in the shade Seychelles. And I gotta say, I kind of dig the way that the blush turned out. So that's what's on the cheeks for blush today. I feel like maybe it's a little bit warm for like the cool tone look I have going on, but who cares? I'm not going out tonight. You guys are the only ones seeing me. And then for my highlighter, I went in with the NARS Fort de France highlighter. I think I am actually like liking this like I remember, and I'm now regretting not reaching for this more frequently. I feel like I had been pulling this into a Shop My Stash for like a year and a half and could never get myself to reach for it. I also feel like this is gonna make a really beautiful like champagne kind of yellow gold body highlight. I have all the plans for just being like an absolute like statue in terms of like how statue Tin Man and how like bronzy and glowy I want to be this summer trying to get through highlighters. But I'm glad that I pulled this out and actually like encouraged myself to reach for it, because I've been enjoying reaching for this highlighter. I did use a little bit of finishing powder just because I thought I was looking a little bit flat. So I went in and used this powder out of my Hourglass Dim Light Trio, and I never know like which way to read the powders, but I'm pretty sure this is Radiant Light that I used as a finishing powder. My mascara has been the same combo that it has been, Tarte Lights Camera Splashes mixed with Makeup Revolution 5D Lash Pow. Setting sprays, I've been misting away with my Evian canned water, and then I set with the Revolution Sport Fix. I probably didn't need to like set, because I'm literally gonna probably film one video after this and then wash it all off and go take a bath and hope to read, but whatever, it is what it is. And then finally, my lip combination today is the ColourPop Barbie Golden Beach lip liner that I have been wearing. Then over top of that, I did the YSL lip stain in the shade 23. This is going in, I think, my Rolling Project 10 pan, maybe my whole collection, one of my projects. So I went over the lips with that, and then I also added a gloss. I added the iconic London lip gloss in the shade, the lip plumping gloss in the shade Love Struck. That is what is on the lips today, and I believe that is everything. And it is day 7, so that is gonna wrap it up for this makeup diaries video. Let me know if you enjoyed this type of content, if you'd like to see me do other things with this makeup diaries. I actually had a ton of fun filming this, and I'm thinking like if it's a week that I have like a lot planned maybe, or if I'm like going out, which is literally never, but maybe I'll make summer plans at some point. Like, I would love to film more of these, so let me know if you like this type of content. But that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for sticking around to watch and for supporting me and my channel, as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.